Muffins for Mummies. Story by Adam and Charlotte Gillane. Illustrations by Lee Wildish. A boy called George heard mysterious tales about the museum at night. The cakes in the cafe had vanished away, but the cake thief was nowhere in sight. "Trixie," said George, "there's a case to be solved. We can't dilly-dally or wait." He packed up his bag with the gear he would need and took 25 muffins as bait. Inside the museum, strange shadows loomed large, and eerie sounds echoed around. "Look, Trixie," George whispered. "The thief must be near. There are cake crumbs all over the ground." George held up a muffin to tempt out the thief, and he called, "I've got cakes for a feast." But a deafening noise made him tremble and turn, and in thundered a huge woolly beast. "A mammoth?" said George. "Could he be the thief? He's going to charge at us. Yikes!" They ran through a doorway to make their escape and stumbled upon some old bikes. George hopped on a saddle and pedalled like mad. The mammoth let out a great roar. "He's going to catch us," George panted in fear, but the mammoth got stuck in the door. "Ha ha!" shouted George. "He's too big to get in, so he couldn't have stolen the cakes." But in all of the rush, he had not stopped to check if his bike had a bell or some brakes. Crash went the bicycle, clash went the shields, as a Roman display tumbled down. Then George saw a figure with crumbs at his feet. "You're the cake thief," he cried with a frown. "A cake thief?" The Roman glared down in a rage. He really looked very upset. "Help, Trixie!" cried George as he darted and jumped to escape from the Roman's huge net. George leapt in a chariot, quick as a flash, and his dog pulled him out of harm's way. The Roman tripped up on his net with a howl as Trixie and George whizzed away. They swerved and they zigzagged and slid to a stop. "We're safe!" George exclaimed in relief. Then he spotted more crumbs in a trail on the floor. "Look, Trixie! Now let's catch the thief." George held out a muffin. "Is anyone there?" He glimpsed something dim in the light. He heard a loud clanking as someone drew near, and then out of the gloom stepped a knight. "So you are the thief," said George. "Where are the cakes?" The knight raised his sword with a cry. "How dare you accuse me?" he bellowed. "A thief?" "Quick, Trixie!" George shouted. "Let's fly!" The daring detectives began their escape. There were weapons and shields everywhere. George sprang in a catapult, threw his lasso, and then whoosh, they shot off through the air. George fell with a bump in a dark, chilly room. He switched on his torch to explore. "Ancient Egypt," he gasped. "Trixie, don't be afraid." Then he spotted more crumbs on the floor. "Quick, follow that trail. We can still catch the thief." But Trixie had started to shake. A sarcophagus stood with its lid open wide, and inside was a huge pile of cake. George jumped as a voice bellowed, "Look, there he is! That boy stole the cakes. I was right." The mammoth and Roman were blocking the door, and towards him was marching the knight. "Admit you're the thief," said the knight with a growl. Poor George backed away, shouting, "No!" Then he pointed his finger and whispered, "What's that?" From the shadows, a voice called, "Hello!" "Hide!" shrieked the Roman, and "Help!" yelled the knight. "Don't be scared," said the mummy. "I'm nice. It's my birthday today, and my party starts now. I've got plenty of cake. Have a slice." "So you stole the cakes," murmured George with a gasp. "And stealing is bad," said the knight. "But I can't have a party without any cake," wailed the mummy. "That wouldn't be right." George opened his bag and they all peered inside. "Have these muffins," he said with a grin. "We can take back the cakes to the cafe, and then the party can really begin."
Party, like a good boogie, and the muffins.
Lovely muffins.
Good night.
Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite.